to the Polearm Challenge.
Howdy.
With me, Jorb.
I'm Leo.
I like how you do the OG intro more than I do.
I don't even think about it, honestly. I just kind of do it. It's ingrained in me.
So, last we left off, we did the Ringing Deeps questline. Be nice to kobolds!
Or else.
Or else. And today, we're going to check out Hallowfall. Anduin has, asked for our assistant. Leo's more of a true paladin than Jorb. Oh hey, look, an airship Zeppelin thing.
Oh, hey.
Someone's using a flight path from Hallowfall. There's your 5-second foreshadowing.
Whoa.
Here's the zone transition to Hallowfall. Unfortunately, we don't get to go down to something as cool as the core way again.
Oh, man.
The zones are still technically vertically oriented, with Ringing Deeps being above Hallowfall, which is above Ashkahet. But it's more of a you go down at a diagonal now. And they're still, like, adjacent. Anyway, welcome to Hallowfall.
By the light, it shines as brightly as the sun. Are those airships? But we're underground.
Hallowfall is a very cool zone aesthetically. Like, look at this.
Whoa.
The old crystal sun in the ceiling, airships, whatever's going on with these cliffs.
Oh, I remember this from BlizzCon.
Yeah, it's rad here. Hey, Anduin.
I will always try.
We'll find out if the people of Hallowfall will stand up with us as allies, Scala.
I hear the radiant song. Is it coming from that crystal? Am I needed?
But that's just a theory. A game theory.
Great.
Hold on. Or
I played a paladin once.
my main in this game was a paladin.
I mean, it's justified a single-player RPG or D&D, so...
Oh, I didn't see that part. My bad. I've wanted to, but I haven't had the opportunity to yet. I mean, WoW is arguably a single-player RPG sometimes.
The Nerubians breached the Aegis wall, Farron. The darkness forced us back. Your fear of the dark will kill us all, General. We'll never survive unless... Quiet, Lamplighter. Outsiders are here. Who are you?
Meet Farron, our main friend character for the zone. As you can see, she's of elven descent. Also, she's missing an arm.
Oh.
Canon disabled character. There's a little side thing later on where there's a character, like a blacksmith character, who's like, I could make you a prosthetic arm, And she's like, I mean, I've been like this since I was a baby. And I'd have to relearn how to fight and move and do everything again. I think I'm good.
Huh.
When shadow falls...
Farron's like, I don't need to be fixed, thank you. I'm good. Friendly outsiders are not common in Hallowfall. Only enemies emerging from the shadow. But you seem comfortable in the light, despite how unusual you may appear. I would welcome you, were we not in the midst of a crisis.
Be strong.
Many in Hallowfall will call you outsider. I would call you friend. I would also ask for your help, if you are no stranger to combat. Desperate times forge strong friendships. General Steelstrike ordered the army to fall back from the Nerubian onslaught. In doing so, she abandoned the lamplighter and many troops to the darkness. I may not be able to save them on my own, but with your help I may succeed. If you're willing, ride with me or meet me there.
In my heart, there is fire. I'm Farron, lamplighter of Hallowfall.
I am
I
Alliance.
have a relief cart prepped for the war. Will you join me?
Anduin. I'm an adventurer, exploring Kazalgar with my friend.
Just a humble adventurer. Links.
I'm Anduin. I'm having a crisis.
Well, this guy also has pointy ears.
Oh.
So basically, these guys are from an as of yet unknown continent. Originally, where the Arathi Empire exists. We knew of the Arathi people as one of the earlier, people in the Arathi Highlands here. Apparently, an expedition of theirs sailed across the sea and off the map here, and they actually made a whole empire on another continent. And they set out with, not only on their own, but they set out with some high elves as well. Hence the lynxes and pointy ears. Over time, over generations, their cultures kind of intermeshed with each other and their bloodlines crossed. And so now, generally, most of the Arathi are half-elves, or at least humans of elven descent. Hence the ears. And they have the lynx because the high elves brought them with them.
That's fun.
Yeah. Yeah, that'll be a new expansion. It'd be cool if we went to the Arathi Empire eventually. I'm sure Farron would like that.
Crystal.
Star. We call it a star. Belladar, the Emperor's vision of holy light.
Oh, and they have elven names and stuff too.
Deep under the ground.
We're the Hallowfall expedition of the Arathi Empire. We followed our Emperor's sacred vision across the sea to fight in Renalash, the final battle between light and dark. As we crossed the sea, we were caught in a storm. The fleet was enveloped in golden radiance. In a flash, our entire armada was transported down here.
You've been down here fighting the Nerubians ever since?
I was just a child. The only child when we were marooned. The Nerubians have never ceased their hostility. They crawl up from their kingdom seeking a fight and try to drag us down into the darkness. Steelstrike's army does well beneath Belladar's light. Those bugs are good at extinguishing hope. We lamplighters have trained to charge into the darkness. We save those who are lost and keep the Dawn Towers lit.
Neat.
A personal warning to you is, of course, there's going to be a bunch of spoilers from here on out. Because
Of
Nerubians.
You're alive!
Farron, your courage acquits you well, young lamplighter.
This guy appears to be a full-blooded elf. So as far as new areas, sometimes I think. Sometimes they just show up new. So Pandaria we knew of as early as Warcraft 3. Kazalgar was new with the expansion. Zandalar we knew about since Vanilla, I think. Kultiris, I think, was known about since Warcraft 2. The Broken Isles, I think, were new for Legion. We knew about the Tomb of Sargeras since Warcraft 3, but the surrounding landmass we did not know about. Northrend was Warcraft 3. Kalimdor was Warcraft 3. Eastern Kingdoms is Warcraft 1. The Dragon Isles are an interesting case. The Dragon Isles were known about in the World of Warcraft Vanilla Beta, or even the Alpha, I think. They were cut content
Huh.
from Vanilla WoW. And then they got reimagined and rebuilt in Dragonflight. Let's see. Outland was Warcraft 2. Draenor, likewise, arguably Warcraft 1. Shadowlands is Shadowlands. I mean, the term Shadowlands was thrown around since Vanilla WoW, I think, but it had a different meaning then. I think what was used to say Shadowlands, what was originally referred to as the Shadowlands, I think is now called the Vale, which is basically kind of a quasi-plane in between life and death. It's where your player character goes when you die, and there's the spirit healers and stuff.
Yeah.
I think there's actually a quest in Shadowlands that takes you there, where you go with a Kyrian to pick up a newly departed soul and ferry them to Oribos. And then they go to the maw. Whoopsie.
Woo-hoo.
Interestingly enough, it seems also like there's been some cases where the Shadowlands wasn't even necessarily referred to as an afterlife. Either it was just the Veil, because there's instead been cases where NPCs, even as late as Pandaria, I think, possibly later, have sometimes the fanciful way of saying, I'm gonna kill you, is prepare to be sent to the Twisting Nether. But the Twisting Nether is where demons come from. So, not to be confused with the Great Dark Beyond, which is just space. It's just outer space. They call it the Great Dark Beyond.
Oh, sure.
Anyway, that's your crash course in WoW geography. And a little bit of cosmology. I'm still waiting for them to add the island of Tel Abyss, personally. Along with a bunch of other Redditors. Tel Abyss is an island we know very little about, other than the fact that there are bananas that come from there.
That's it?
That's it!
Okay.
But hey, maybe we could bring back the Hosen.
Remember those guys?
Sacred
Those-
flame guides me.
Those funny little guy. Outsider. The Nerubians took us by surprise. The army went into retreat when the wall was breached. I've been keeping them away from this tower, but I could certainly use your help. Look at that armor, by the way.
Whoa.
This armor set is obtainable by
I like the
players.
cauldrons.
I'm pretty sure that, somewhere in here... Nope, not that one. Wrong Hellofall set. Where is it? There it is. We can get it.
Oh.
Apparently I'm missing the chest piece.
Oh, yeah.
But, yeah. And it comes in recolors. Ooh, that's cool. So the funny thing is, like, the Paladin tier set, this tier apparently, like, looks really bad. It's got, like, flappy wings on the shoulders, and they have jiggle physics, and it looks bad. But, like, everyone's like, this is the real Paladin tier set. Wear no armor. There's a challenge that people have done for WoW called Iron Man. Different from RuneScape Iron Man. Where I think it's stuff like,
We're here.
yeah, I know, Farron.
It's Chiron. You're alive.
You said that already.
Farron, your courage acquits you.
I guess someone else arrived. But, what was it saying? Iron Man. So I think it's like, you can't use gear above white quality, maybe even above gray quality. So that means any quest that gives you a green, you can't use any greens. So basically, all your stuff is going to have no stats on it. Just armor. There's also versions where it's like you can't use quest rewards or drops. You have to craft your own armor and things like that.
Not all who wander the darkness are lost. We venture into shadow.
Who are you, Chiron? I served the Empire for many years before coming to Hallowfall as a warden in our military. When we first arrived in Hallowfall, I volunteered to lead a group in scouting the land. We found what areas were defensible, what was overrun by Nerubians and the Kobus, and laid a foundation for the defense of Merildar. I found my calling late in life, bound to a star of prophecy in an unlikely land beneath the ground, and I would see all those that walk in the light of the sacred flame survive another day. Yeah, a lot of your you can unequip your weapon, but a lot of abilities require you to use a weapon. I did a version of the polearm challenge in Classic WoW as well, but you can't learn the polearm weapon skill until level 20. So for the first 20 levels, I ran around punching things. No, that's not quite true. I think I used a fishing rod for the most of the first 20 levels. Because it is not technically a weapon, so I still couldn't use weapon-based skills. You can do basic auto attacks, but stuff like, most of these abilities on my bar will say, require, if I take my weapon off, requires melee weapon, for example. It doesn't apply to every ability, especially not spells, but for warriors, most of them require a weapon. But yeah, I was running around with a fishing rod, which wasn't technically considered a melee weapon by most of my abilities, so I was limited in which ones I could use. But it did add, 1 point of DPS by having a fishing rod instead of my bare hands. I'm not even sure if that would be true in real life. I think a fishing rod might be less effective than your fists. Anyway, tell me about the Lamplighters. It's not easy to face darkness you know is dangerous. That's even more true in a cave, Ascala. We Lamplighters are the ones who brave the darkness, to make sure Arathi Dawn Towers are lit and our people are safe. We frequently have strong disagreements with the military, but we're free to do what we believe we must. We're few in number, to be sure, and our willingness to face the darkness in spite of our fears is seen as unusual. But when a lamplighter arrives, the Arathi's hopes grow brighter. Hold on, I'm gonna get this ore over here. Ignore quests, receive mining. Oh yeah, it's like using the bug net in Zelda.
Minecraft.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Oh yeah, Minecraft fishing rod. That's right.
I was thinking more about the mining ores, but yeah, there's a fishing rod also.
Oh, that. It's good to have new allies here. Together, we have much better chances of protecting this tower. The Nerubians have overwhelmed us. If we're going to have any chance against them, we need to destroy the burrows they're using to come under the wall. If you can handle that, we'll survey the field from the top of the wall and meet you there. Yeah, the fishing rod has utility. It doesn't do damage per se, but it's still a utility option.
Yeah, you can use it to massive positioning, yank people around. I know there's a divide in 1.9 and before PvP, and one of those versions has fishing rod as a very active component of the meta, but I don't remember which one.
It's hard to see the destruction here, knowing how well the wall has served us for so long. Hard to think about the soldiers who died defending it, and those that will die because we don't have this defensive advantage. Why don't you leave this place, Farron? Hallowfall is a holy place, Ascala. Here we guard the Emperor's vision, Beladar. It is our faith in the sacred flame which prevents it from shifting forever into shadow.
We carry the flame.
So I don't know if this was intentional, intentional piece of world design, but I noticed that we can't see Beladar from here. I think you can see it from most places in the zone, but here there's a wall in the way.
I see.
I think that may have been an intentional choice.
A beacon in the dark.
One dawn tower has fallen, but a faint glimmer of hope remains with the smaller key flame atop the wall. The shattered remnants needed to sustain that light were taken by the Nerubians. Gather the remnants from the Nerubians you slay, and help ignite a beacon of hope.
Despite it, Dawn Tower won't be enough to hold them back. The Nerubians have gotten braver.
We must ignite the key flame on the wall. Its sacred flame will keep the Nerubians at bay.
Oh, here you some items I got off camera. Earworm. It can't even hold a tune.
Rip.
Ruined candle. Turns out all it held was a bit of string. Wax carving of a candle. But why?
Stock up for next curfew.
Love that.
Yeah, axes are pretty good in Minecraft PvP because they can break shields. And if you do, axe crits are insanely good.
I appeared to be a Tonka temporarily. I forgot that I still have the Radiant Echoes trinket.
Oh yeah.
You'd think that, wouldn't you? Man, I'm just remembering one time one of the VODs for this got a comment and I was like, oh boy, I wonder what someone has to say. And they got mad that I was clicking my interrupt instead of using a key binding. They're like, that's what's wrong with WoW players these days. I'm like, cool, your comment is deleted.
What?
It's like, cool, I'm deleting your comment.
Bro.
Like, didn't ask. It's like, theoretically, I probably should have it bound to a key I can hit with my left hand. However, this is just how I've always done it, and I can't imagine changing it now. Because it's on my equals key, the end of the bar there, I'd have to move my hand off of the rest of the bar, off of my 1 to 6 keys, in order to hit it. And it's something you want to hit quickly. So for me, rather than move my left hand over to the right side of my keyboard to click it, I instead often find it faster to actually use my right hand to just click it here on the bar with my mouse. And apparently that makes some people very angry. It's generally seen as you want to keybind your abilities as much as possible rather than clicking on them. There's even a derogatory term for people who only click on their abilities. Surprisingly enough, clickers. I bet
What
you...
in the hell?
It's just because it's generally seen as a sign of being a noob. Because it's slower and less efficient at using keybinds.
But who give a shit?
Remember, this community is full of sweaty tryhards. Oh, there's a treasure hoard, huh? Yeah. But apparently, that one guy was just like, how dare you? Is that how this works? Okay.
We cannot hide from evil.
There's hope in the flame.
Give in to fear. are lost.
With the light of the flame,
We are
I see
here
hope
to
that we will drive the Nerubians back.
Don't give in to
Sorry if my voice is a little odd. Apparently my nose is stuffy a little bit.
The sacred flame
Yeah, rip.
illuminates our path.
Excellent, Escala. Check out that flail, by the way.
Ooh.
If we don't have to worry about the Nerubians stabbing us in the back, we can deal with those pouring through below.
In service to others.
The only good spider. Escala, if we don't stem the tide of Nerubians climbing up to us, nothing else will matter. Their numbers are just too great. We need to delay their onslaught to buy the people of Hallowfall time to prepare. The wall still serves as a very effective choke point. Do what you can to thin their numbers.
We keep the dawn towers lit.
No, the thing I can do to annoy competitive Smash players is say that I like
we are
Brawl.
light in the darkness.
Good people died here today, Escala. A lot of them. Every Arathi soldier carries a tinderbox. It represents their devotion to the sacred flame. Many use it as a focus to bring forth the flame's light. In the dark places beyond the light of Beladar, the sacred flame brings hope. With the Nerubian attack, we can't recover their bodies. So we must retrieve these symbols to venerate their sacrifice. Then use this torch to burn their bodies. It's the best funeral we can offer.
We Arathi are consecrated in the sacred flame. Do not leave my people on the field.
One thing I'm not clear on is if the sacred flame thing is a part of the Arathi Empire's culture, or if it's just these guys. In which case, they've been here for maybe like a few decades.
Yeah.
Well, it's probably fine. Hey! Hello, some guy! We are here in
Some guy?
We're here in Hallowfall. Defending it from Nerubians.
I am very tired because my sleep schedule broke again.
That'll happen. So I
Let's
mentioned...
do that.
I mentioned... so the next zone after this is Ajkahet, which is the Nerubian zone. Should be noted, at least for you, where not all of the Nerubians we will encounter are hostile. Some of them are friendly, including one in a side quest that is a therapist.
Oh my god.
He's called Mr. Sunflower, I believe.
Oh my god.
I haven't done that quest yet myself, but I've heard people saying, Andrew just needs a session with Mr. Sunflower. There's also stuff like, I've heard there's also a side quest in Ajkahet with a Nerubian that has basically reverse arachnophobia. Is deathly afraid of bipeds because we don't have enough legs.
Oh my god.
One thing that I think they've really accomplished with... I've seen people compare Ajkahet to be like what they wished Suramar was. In some ways, because... no, sorry, I misspoke. Not Suramar. The Nerubian Kingdom underground in Northrend. I wish that's what that had been. Because the thing is, a lot of the Nerubians, the ones not working for Xalatath, are, they're very humanized. They're a people with a culture. It's different from our culture, but a culture nonetheless. With their own, joys and sorrows and all that.
I see.
That was late, don't mind if I do. Mr. Sunflower, yes. You want to go see the spider therapist named Mr. Sunflower?
The spare of this.
The Sparathist. There's also some little baby Nerubians that we see sometimes.
Yeah, children. My worst enemy.
Would you like to see one? I think you can get them as companion pets.
You can companion pet a child?
That it wouldn't be the first time.
No, that is true. We do still have Emigosa, I think.
Yeah, despite the time paradox.
Yeah, it's fine.
Let's
She's a
see.
dragon. She'll walk it off.
Wow.
You can have a regular chicken. Regular chickens are real.
It's one of the first ones you could have. It was in vanilla. Back when when a pet was still an item you had in your inventory. I'm doing a search to see. I don't remember what any of them are called. Added an expansion, the War Within. Oh! While I'm looking for that...
Puppy!
Oh, it's Dog from Pandaria!
Oh.
Okay, I think this is one of them. Let me check. Yes, okay, baby Spoder incoming.
Okay.
Jump, jump.
Oh.
I jump, John,
Oh,
it's
it's a
what I
jumping
do.
spider. Okay.
I jump, John, it's what I do. There's
Okay, so the baby Nerubians are just jumping spiders.
yeah. There's also one called Bouncer.
Oh. It's like a Joltik.
Yeah. Oh my god, you could get it. You could get a mole pet named Sneef.
Sneef.
Sneef. He's got a snaz for sniffing.
So true. I will be right back.
Okay.
Gotta use the bathroom.
It does look like a reverse colored Joltik. They will never make Nerubians playable because of the anatomy. Like, we got Drakthir, and it's like, they're only slightly less humanoid, and they can't even wear armor. Well, they can wear armor, but, they don't visually wear armor for transmog. And that, as it turns out, is a huge deal breaker for the community. So, Nerubians would not be able to do transmog either. So, like, it ain't happening. Also, how would they ride mounts? They can't sit in the saddle. I mean, generally the way that the armor works is that it's painted onto the model. Like, you have this is, like, the part of the model that applies the pants texture. This is the part of the model that applies the, you know, gloves texture, etc. I mean, there's helmets, too, but they've been getting more to 3D with, like, helmets and shoulders and stuff, but, like, you can see, like, my chest armor is painted on, basically. And so are the legs and things like that. And there's only a couple of shapes for stuff like boots and gloves and whatnot. With just different textures. But it would still be a lot of work to add new races at this point as well. But yeah, given that they didn't allow Drakthir to visually wear armor, and they're still, bipedal, yeah, no shot Nerubians would visually be able to wear armor. It would just be like a Drakthir situation where their visible armor is part of your character customization instead of based on what you're wearing. I will take the Sekirite, thank you. Gonna wait for Leo to get back to turn in the quest for the Diloge. Ooh, I have a lot of mining knowledge to spend. Yeah. I'm gonna try and get all the way up to, all the way up to mine while mounted. Because that's a nice ability to have. Yeah, yeah. The funny thing is, they're not playable, but lore does have humans but blue. That would be the Kyrians from Shadowlands. They are Bloomans. Let's see if I can find any in here. That would be probably the Spires of Ascension. These guys are the not the best example, because these guys are the what's it called? Oh god, I forget what their group is even called. Forsworn. I had to look it up in the journal. These guys are a slightly darker tinge of blue, but these guys are Kyrian. Are there any Kyrian bosses elsewhere? I don't think so. Probably not. No. Maybe. It doesn't work quite like that. Because of the whole being painted on thing. It's part of their model texture. The armor shape is not part of the armor model. It's part of the character model, essentially, and they just apply armor texture A to character model texture A, you know? Barring any 3D elements that the armor adds, like shoulders, of course. But even then, I don't know all the technical details, but like, it's especially obvious with stuff like cloaks, for example. The cloaks don't... The cloak items themselves don't have models. The player character has several cloak models built into the character model. And when you equip a cloak, the game says, take this variant of the cloak model that the player model has, and apply this texture to it. And every race uses the same texture. It just applies differently to each model. And sometimes that means some armor sets look better on some models than others, because they mostly just test how armor looks on humans, rather than literally any other race in the game. So sometimes stuff will get squished or stretched and it'll look funky. And boy, helmets on Tauren are also kind of a nightmare. And Worgen, too. But, yeah, I don't see any reason why kobolds couldn't wear armor. It's just whether Blizzard wants to, you know, actually commit to doing that. Define presentable. I mean, I'm playing a non-human. Yeah?
Hi, I'm back. So I was listening to you talk. I couldn't figure out a good way to like seg you into hi, I'm existing again.
Okay. Yeah, no, I cannot. I mean, I could log over to a Tauren character, but I don't want to do that.
My
Anyway,
Kindles my hope.
have you recovered their tinderboxes? Every life deserves to be remembered in the sacred flame.
If you are lost in darkness,
Thank you, Iskala. You've helped to honor their sacrifice as well as we can.
the Spideys were true Arathi, holding onto hope in the very heart of shadow.
They seek the light of the sacred flame now. Come, their killers still live.
Shoutouts to how she has this special, like, I think she has some kind of attachment to her shoulder that'll let her still use a shield with no left arm. The
Yeah,
animations
this
don't...
kind of like grafted it to her pauldron.
Yeah, the animations don't quite work, considering she's still using the default human animations. So she's got an invisible arm, but, actually, I'm not entirely certain of that. I think they may have actually moved the shield closer to her body compared to the normal
No.
female human, animation. Sorry, I mean the body type 2 animation. My bad. Gender is no longer legal. Although that being said, I did notice an NPC in Dornegal, one of the Earthen, uses body type 2 with a beard, and emotes give that character he, him, so...
Oh.
The sacred flame tempers our spirit.
This is a good start. There are still many more genders coming from below. We must turn our attention to those already inside Hallowfall.
Hey, I don't think you read that right.
What do you mean? I read it perfectly.
Hold on
I
a
read it
second.
perfectly.
Alright, somebody clip that.
Wait, where's the chaotic meatball reference?
Who's Chaotic Meatball?
He's a YouTuber who does Pokemon stuff, mostly does like Professor Oak Challenge and stuff. E is not a reference to Chaotic Meatball. He did not invent E. First of
I
all,
don't even know where I got that sound bite from. It's from one of my various discords. I have a month of Nitro and I'm using it for evil.
I'm pretty sure that particular sound clip is of Markiplier.
That sounds about right.
I am eager to hear your story. In search of the others.
I just opened the dialogue again and I immediately think of my altered version again. There are still many more genders coming from below.
We venture into shadow.
Obscure YouTubers like Markiplier. Fun fact, Markiplier's brother does a popular furry webcomic.
I will see
Jorb reads it. I also read it at one point, but I don't read webcomics reliably anymore.
It's critical, with so many Nerubians pouring through the Aegis Wall, that we defend our airships docked at 10 years' ascent. The Nerubians have always outnumbered us, but our fleet allows us to concentrate our defenders where they're attacking, as well as allowing us to bombard them from the safety of the skies. If we lose our armada, our hopes fade dramatically. Meet us there when you can. I'm putting that clip in,
Thank you, some guy. How do I feature a clip?
How do you feel?
Can I? Oh,
I can-
I can.
I can pin it.
Yeah, I've done it. I've found the funny button.
Okay, I didn't know that was a thing. Oh, hey, here's your example.
is.
Here's your example of torn helmets.
Oh no.
It's just kind of on the front there.
Yeah, we are experiencing World of Craft. Hi, hello.
Hello. We were just talking. We just check out that clip from just now. It's fun. We're talking about Markiplier's brother's furry webcomic.
a lamplighter brings hope.
It's critical with so many Nerubians. Oh wait, I read this already.
In my
Look, those Nerubians are fleeing.
not fleeing, advancing. They mean to destroy our air dogs.
They're not fleeing, they're advancing in a different direction. Here we go.
My microphone quality is so bad. I'm so sorry.
Better than mine, but I'm not using my stand mic.
The other option is I get my I was watching back the clip and my mic quality is like noticeably worse than Jorb's.
Oh. Hello,
I
sir.
have another microphone, but it is very sensitive.
Void Goat.
So it will pick up my fan and my laptop fan and my everything.
I have no idea what's up with that Void Goat. Anyway.
Mm,
Hold on.
it's a friendly neighborhood void goat.
Oh, there's some... Or no, despawned. Anyway, airship.
Whoa!
Hold on, there's a rare down here, and I
Dawnbreaker!
wish to murder it. Ixlorb, the spinner.
Gesundheit.
Ah, you mean, Exile's Reach? Yeah. Once you get
I
one...
still haven't seen Exile's Reach.
Yeah, once you get one character to max level, you don't have to do Exile's Reach anymore. You can do the old starting areas.
Hmm.
But it's part of the new player experience.
Not all who wander the darkness are lost.
I will see you through the shadow.
I'm glad you're with us, Escala. How'd you get here ahead of me? Without our airships,
know.
we have little chance of holding back the Nerubians in the long run. To say nothing of our dock workers, who are safe below deck. Let's see to the defense.
We carry the flame.
Escala, if we're going to hold the Nerubians back, we have to deal with their siege weapons. Around Tanir's ascent, there are kegs of black powder to supply our ships for combat. If the Nerubians have caught these ships on the ground, let's put that powder to work. Gather some barrels, and take them down with the Nerubian siege weapons.
A beacon in the dark.
Oh man, someone calling out a rare with 0% health.
Flame illuminates our path.
Some of the characters from the tutorial area do show up later, for what that's worth. In Dragonflight, they show up in the opening area, and they're also in follower dungeons. And I think they show up in War Within somewhere as well. I'm not certain. You can also try. Well, I was gonna say you could try Classic WoW, but that requires a subscription, as opposed to the up to level 20 free trial of the main game.
Also, Classic WoW is a brick wall to get into as your first Warcraft experience.
Hey, it worked for me when I was like 12.
Because you were 12, there's nothing else.
We fought the Nerubians since we arrived, Escala. Their attacks have not risen to this level in a long time. These airship docks are clearly a target, but do they have any others? Is there a larger goal? The Nerubians carry shadecasters with orders from their queen. We need to learn what they can of their plans and intentions. And recovering a few of those shadecasters is the best way we can do so.
Chiron, the Dawn Tower isn't lit. If Beladar should shift,
You're right. Your new friends can protect the people. We must ignite the sacred flame.
So shadecasters, first mention of them, I think, they're basically something somewhere between, like, they're like hologram displays. They can be used either with pre-recorded messages, or with, they can be used to actually have video calls as well.
Huh.
I don't know why the spider people managed to invent the video call, but
I don't know. They've made spiders Skype.
Spike.
Spike. Spike. Spike.
We're not okay.
No. I am like fighting off a bit of a headache. I'm improving now. I have a huge thing of like Arizona iced tea.
Oh, I was just gonna say we're
Yes.
just like this.
No. You have no excuse, I think.
I never have an excuse.
This is so true.
I just have the disease.
I normally don't have an excuse either, just that today I do.
Oh, hey, there's a dungeon here. The Dawnbreaker. That tracks.
Ooh.
The Templars of Shadow are sinking into this land. Utilize their fear to strike them down.
Why did it disappear before the message was finished?
You know,
Anyway, that was a Shadecaster.
cool. They really did invent the spider Skype video call.
Yeah. / pre-recorded message dispenser. This
Yeah.
tape will self-destruct in 5 seconds.
Okay.
Were you counting?
Yes.
I was considering it. So, like, I would have done the same. Please understand, I am not judging you. I'm like, no, that I would have. Wow, okay, so check this out. So it's going to display a countdown timer and then immediately detonate. Check this out.
You weren't kidding.
The threads have been spun. They will get their fated final war.
That's probably fine.
Ashkaret will rise. Prove your worth. Earn your ascension.
Ascension
The
with a
Xbox hates staying around.
Ascension with a capital A. I'm sure
Oh, you
that's
hate to
fine.
see it.
And by the way, I'd like to remind everybody that I've added a sound alert. You know, in case you guys want to do some chaos.
There's probably a way to turn off the like sound alerts message right after.
I had it turned on intentionally, just so that I know when it happens, and so I personally notice. Because
Yeah, but also still shows the redeem
Oh.
notification no matter what. So
yeah. I mean, does it show that? Does it show that for everyone or just for us?
yes.
Okay, in that case, I will turn it off. Sound alerts dashboard. I just wanted the feedback that it.
Oh god, the dramatic fanfic reading. It's been so long.
My alerts.
We should go through and look at our redeems. Actually, if you guys have any ideas for redeems you would like to be able to push funny buttons about,
Yes.
let us know and we'll see what we can do.
Especially now that I can do sound alerts.
Yeah.
I will help if I can.
What, you want me to read the Subspace World's Emissary? God. It's
What
amazing.
if one day you guys redeem and I start reading one of my own fanfics? What'd you do?
What if you redeem it if we start reading Doomsday?
I think I actually did that once.
I think you did.
I think I did. I could do it again.
It's amazing to see what the Arathi have been able to achieve in Hallowfall in their years here, with no help from the outside. They'll make strong allies. And if we can protect the Dawnbreaker, I'm sure they'll be able to push back the Nerubians.
We have lost so many.
Final War. Ascension. Not as many answers as questions, Escala. But we at least have some pieces of the puzzle.
I hear a radiant song.
With those siege weapons destroyed, we're in much better shape. Farron went ahead to light the Dawn Tower with Great Chiron. He asked that we meet them there.
Will I be forgiven?
Escala, the Nerubians all seem to be taking orders from that siege lord south of here. If we can defeat her, that may turn the tide of this attack. Without a leader organizing the attack, the Arathi may be able to drive back the Nerubians, especially if Farron is able to light this Dawn Tower she spoke of. But the longer we delay, the greater damage to the Arathi airships. Go quickly.
We have lost.
Shoutouts to this zone for correcting my apparently long-held mispronunciation of Arathi as Arathi.
Good to see you, champion. I've been tracking this one since it crawled up out of its hole.
Hi, Illyria.
My arrows strike true.
Hey, girl.
Hey, girl.
Check out our cool void arrows. That tracks. They even had the Year of Luigi that one time.
Oh, yeah.
Look at these Arathi and see my son. I will slaughter every Nerubian in my path to keep them from harm.
Oh yeah, Illyria had a half-elven son.
Oh, yeah.
Arator the Redeemer, her son with the human Turalian.
Let's try.
Yeah, no.
Am I needed?
With the Nerubian leader defeated, we should be able to leave the defenses to the Arathi. We've saved so many lives today, Escala. Oh, and Illyria walked over to snap it into place.
I thought we agreed
Nope.
to stay invulnerable.
I heard stories of the Arathi. As king. I was curious.
Nintendo. We'll never get the Year of Drybones.
No.
Sad Drybones noises. Escala. Farron went to light
Bones rattling.
Escala. Farron went to light the Dawn Tower. She said it keeps the light of the sacred flame shining upon Hallowfall. Excuse me. Chiron is there as well. Excuse you? It's great, Chiron? It's hard to imagine that any beacon could outshine their star Belladar, but I am eager to see this new expression of the light. Meet me by the Dawn Tower, and we can see how the sacred flame of the Arathi helps to safeguard these long-lost cousins of mine.
Will I be forgiven?
Pauline's playable? In what?
Mario Kart, I think.
Oh. Huh.
I will help if I can.
Farron says these Dawn Towers, with the Lamplighters' aid, keep the Arathi ready for whatever darkness comes. Do you feel ready, Escal? I'm ready.
Who is calling for help?
Oh.
What? What is happening?
It's Beladar, our star. It shifts between the light and this. The Dawn Towers hold back the darkness with the sacred flame, but the light always returns.
The stars are devoured, and they light a candle. You know how this ends, Illyria. Inevitably, the void consumes everything.
Show yourself, monster!
You know where to find me. Deeper in the darkness.
So does nobody notice Illyria freaking out, like 5 feet behind them?
I will scout ahead.
Oops, Beladar's light again.
Nope, okay.
Farron, watch the outsiders. It's dangerous to travel alone.
I like how we, like, saw that one glimpse of Zalatath. Presumably she wasn't literally there, but maybe she was. Who knows?
We are a
Who
light.
knows? Ah, it's Zalatath.
Just in time, Miss Scala. Beladar has fallen dark for a time. But now we have our own light to hold back the darkness. It'll probably change as soon as I turn this quest in.
Yeah.
Despite everything, the Arathi find joy.
Right?
Nope. Darkness has fallen.
I thought it was scripted for this part, but I guess not.
Maybe it broke.
Maybe. Darkness has fallen. Maybe it's because I'm in adventure mode, having completed the questline on my main, because there's a world event that is affected by whether or not Beladar is light or not.
Oh.
So because technically I'm in max level mode, and so therefore the events are active that are depending on whether it's light or dark. I don't know. Maybe it's just an oversight. Darkness has fallen. We just pretend. Just
I'm
pretend.
pretending.
We can't rest yet. Farron gives you a weary smile, but there is a light in her eyes. The light from the tower will hold the worst dangers and the darkness at bay. It's my duty, as a lamplighter, to keep all the towers blazing. My patrol takes me to Laurel's Crossing by air next. I would welcome you and Anduin at my side, for all our sakes. Let me look up this quest on Wowhead real quick, just to see if anyone
While
else
you do
has
that, I have
experience.
to go BRB again, feed the cats. I'll be back in like 3 minutes.
Okay.
In my heart,
So how y'all doing, chat? Is this Kingdom Hearts? So yeah, just pretend that this is purple like you saw in the cutscene. Oops. Make it scale. There we go. That did nothing. There's a toy to make it appear as midnight, but that did not work. Jasmine? What, from Pokemon? The gym leader? I didn't know there was a character named Jasmine in Kingdom Hearts. Oh, which movie is that? Aladdin? Okay. I've not actually played any of the Kingdom Hearts games, and I mostly just know it as the original characters, and then also that one bit from the Tarzan world with just ooh ooh ah ooh ooh means heart. And that must wreak havoc on the circulatory system. I still think the funniest thing about Kingdom Hearts that resulted from, I don't know if it was just poor planning or what, but the fact that the names of the Heartless and the Nobodies are basically switched. The Heartless are pure hearts with no bodies, and the Nobodies are just the bodies with no hearts. Like, how did that happen?
I'm back. Oh, while we're talking about Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah, the fact that light and darkness apparently have no meaning because this didn't change, was Kingdom Hearts was brought up.
We
Anyway.
offer service to those in need.
This darkness, how long does it last?
Not long, apparently.
Sometimes only moments, sometimes days. We lost so many the first time it turned. We will travel by air. Monsters arise in the darkness.
This can't be right.
No. Something's gone horribly wrong. Sorry, I'm eating coffee.
Bug submitted. That's a shame. It really tempers the atmosphere a bit.
To live under constant threat of shadow.
Just pretend, guys.
Do it.
When night falls, the army enacts the shadow curfew. Get inside, get to safety. Incoming! Use the lances on those enemies.
I am honestly super disappointed that it did not work for Ascala here. It worked fine on my main, but I guess because I'm in adventure mode.
Good work. You'd fit in well with us lamplighters. As our numbers dwindle, some find their faith shaken. They turn to the whispers in the darkness. Look out!
Seriously damaging the atmosphere. Is it bad I'm tempted to, like, swap to Yu-Gi-Oh! Or something?
Quickly, take it down.
I just hope that it gets fixed. It probably won't, though.
Thank goodness.
Or at least not
That
soon.
was a small one.
Yeah, I don't know. It's up to you.
Nah, I'll stick just
Hold to our faith in
just try and pretend.
ourselves and in each other if we are to succeed.
Fight the flame. Kovis are raiding Sinner's Yearning. The army went ahead, but
Say no more. Our new allies and I will go to their aid. Seek shelter immediately.
Yeah, it's on a 3-hour cycle because we're in adventure mode. Man.
Halt, Farron.
Man.
Secure the village, then rescue the captives. They'll be dead by then.
That's such a shame, just for the narrative.
My faith
Yeah.
is my hope.
I don't care if Steelstrike thinks I'm reckless. I don't care if I get hurt. I can't let my people die. We've lost too many already. To Nerubians, to Cobus, to the Shadows themselves. There's hardly any of us left. How long until there are none? Ask for more information about the Cobus. Baron scowls. Horrible, violent, and stinky creatures. What poorly rested penalty. They've plagued us since the moment we arrived in Hallowfall. We've tried to figure out how intelligent they are. Could we parley for peace? But every scholar we've sent to study how to communicate them has ended up dead. Usually, dead and eaten. And worse, they seem to wield some kind of necromancy. As if eating us wasn't enough, sometimes they chose to dishonor the memory of our allies even further by raising them to fight against us. I've no idea how they choose which of us to eat and which of us to raise. Raise the strongest, eat the plumpest? It churns my stomach to contemplate these things.
We carried the
Ew.
flame.
The Cobus have already been dragging innocent villagers to the shore. They'll drown them and eat them. We have to save them.
Be strong, my friend.
Cobus lurk in the shallows of murky water and snatch any who come near, faster than a viper. And that's just when they hunt alone. In numbers, they are a swarm to be reckoned with. They've been a plague on our outskirt villages since the day we arrived. They eat victims alive, given the chance. We must rescue the villagers that have already been dragged to the water.
Don't give in to fear. We must prepare for Belladon's
Judging by the
return.
glint in your eye, you wish to join Farron in this madness. To push into the Cobus waters, in the darkness. You are a fool with a death wish. Take as many of those damnable fish out as you can, before they drag you into the depths of their dinner.
Caution is warranted.
Soldiers, with me! Help! I'm the heat! I'm more fighter than healer. Antoine!
Did she just slide over?
Yeah,
Not
Zoop.
yet. But I know first aid.
Oh, Andrew still has the first aid skill, huh?
yeah. He just picked up tailoring, probably. So yeah, Walnut, what do you mean by avoiding the poorly rested penalties?
I think I have the poorly rested penalties.
Yeah. I laugh, but it's not funny. Yeah, this is a Cobus.
Oh.
They're like anglerfish
Lucky.
guys. Oh, yeah, that is a thing. I'm not concerned about it. I'll most likely hit level 80 by the time I'm capped anyway. And if I'm not, then I'll just do delves or something. I don't know.
Hmm.
Or some side quests.
What level are you right now?
Level 74, about to ding 75.
Okay.
Hi!
Whoa!
Yeah. As far as how the rest of the EXP numbers tuning is at this point, it's probably designed without rest of EXP in mind at this point. I mean, I remember when we did Dragonflight, including during side quests, I hit max level just doing 2 out of the 4 zones.
Yeah.
And there we are, level 75. More hero talents for our Slayer. That is true, yes. They even sell character boosts. Although that's also because they like having money. I don't think it's $60. That's a lot. Oh my god, it is? Wow.
Yeah.
Jesus. I just know that you get...
Economy.
I just know that when you get expansions now, oftentimes you get like the digital deluxe or whatever that'll come with a level boost or something if you want to use it. I have several boosts banked that I just haven't used.
And digital deluxe is still also expensive, though.
Yeah, but it's like you don't spend an extra $60. But yeah, I have several banked boosts I haven't used.
You have our thanks, Fair and Lothar. And you too, outsiders.
Lothar? What can I do?
In my heart, there is fire.
Thank you, Escala. These people are badly hurt. I think they'll make it. Some seem to have some skill in healing of their own.
Will I be forgiven?
These foes are relentless.
I will always try.
When shadow falls, lamplighters rise.
I trust in your strength. I must ask you to go ahead to reinforce Sina's yearning. Anduin and I can see my people to safety in Laurel's Crossing. With the darkness and the Cobus, the hearts of my people and Sina's yearning will be faltering to fear. We can't let them wallow. Light a torch with the sacred flame in the center of town, and use it to inspire my people's valor. Remind them of their strength. We will catch up with you. May the flame guide you, my friend.
If you are lost in darkness, if more of those fishy bastards try to... my leg, I can't...
My leg!
Easy. We'll patch you up. Friend, go assist the General in Sina's yearning. We'll meet you there.
Am I needed? Did I hear that right earlier? You're, Lothar?
You know the name?
Know it. I was named for Anduin Lothar, one of Stormwind's greatest heroes. He was close friends with my grandfather, King Lane Rin. Few names hold higher esteem. You must be a lady, or...
Oh no, don't you start using formalities on me. My family is noble, but it's been long since we've seen great fortune. To think I had relatives in the old world. Wonderful. I hope I can live up to such legends. Wait, if your grandfather was king of this Stormwind, then Anduin, my new friend, are you a king?
Not anymore. So
Get back over
don't you
here.
start
Stop
using
it.
formalities on me either.
Stop having a crisis right now. It's getting annoying.
Stop being depressed. Go see Mr. Sunflower.
Got spraying with the hose. Yeah, I have an emote for this. Hold on.
Yeah?
Yeah. It's not a hose, but it's close enough.
Why
I
is
need to
this?
stream again. It's been a while.
True. Ooh, there's a treasure.
Been either busy or tired.
Or Byard.
Hoping I'll clear up soon.
Has it for the last few years?
And it is cleared up enough for me to start streaming. Then it came back.
I'm just messing with you.
Yeah, of course.
Torch. Ah, the dopamine sounds. That's an add-on I have. That's for all the things. Whenever you collect a new thing, it plays a jingle. And that's thing TM.
You could. It could be fun.
Here's the things I can collect in this zone. And that's just the zone. Oh, this race is fun. Oh no.
Oh no.
Hey look, a totally not suspicious treasure chest. Nah, I gotcha. It's like that one boss in Shovel Knight. Hey, why did you... Oh, Merc Shades, okay.
Two of them Saturday?
Apparently that one's not a rare, that's Merc Shades with an S. Just a normal mob. Crystallized
Weird.
bismuth. Let's get down to bismuth. Again, the Steven Universe jokes just write themselves.
So, you live. Is Farron well? I would safeguard my people.
No, there's like an anglerfish boss that has a treasure chest as a lure. So, you outsiders and Farron managed to both survive and save the villagers at the beach? Steel Strike breathes a quick prayer in relief. To be fair, Farron didn't help. I did everything. We're in trouble here. The Cobus brought some of their strongest forces to the doorsteps of villagers. We have our hands full just holding the line. If you can take out those monsters, we might be able to turn the tide. Oh no, it was like a mini boss.
The Arathi will fight so long as the light is with us. Destroy those monsters!
I think it was like a mid-stage boss.
Yeah, it's like Shield Knight, Plague Knight, King Knight, question mark,
Spectre Knight.
Spectre Knight, who has like a DLC about him. I think
King-
King Knight does too.
And Plague Knight.
And Plague Knight.
He's-
Why are those the only ones I could think of?
Plague Knight is just my little guy.
Yeah.
There's Treasure Knight, Mole Knight. Let's see. There's Polar Knight, Black Knight, Tinker Knight. I think I'm forgetting one.
Did you say Propeller Knight already?
I did not. Propeller Knight, yes.
Why is that the one I remember? Probably his name is incredibly silly.
I'm gonna see if there's any others. Double bosses.
There's a lot of them.
Yeah, like the main ones. Let's see. Black Knight, King Knight, Spectre Knight, Phantom Knight, Plague Knight, Shovel Knight, Treasure Knight, Mole Knight, Tinker Knight, Propeller Knight, Black Knight. Shield Knight. No, I think that was all of them.
Oh, wow.
I mean, there's like 3 DLC campaigns. And while one of them is like the same stuff, it's the same stages, the other 2 have a second set of stages. And one of them has a card-based minigame. You can play Yu-Gi-Oh! As a reminder, it's still supposed to be dark right now in the narrative. It's just, again, because I'm in max level mode, because I did it already on my main.
Truly tragic.
Yeah, it's such a shame the atmosphere is really suffering. Because it's all bright and vibrant instead of dark and gloomy. Speaking of bright and vibrant, I should share that Yu-Gi-Oh! Archetype I invented earlier.
Huh? Oh, yeah.
So I don't know how exactly they would play. I'll open with that. I don't know what their mechanics are exactly, but I thought of the aesthetics, and that's what's important. So over the years I've played a couple of different decks casually, and I'm thinking of what if they were all an archetype together. I've tried playing, you know, a warrior synchro deck. I played a warrior-type synchro monster deck. I played a dragon... I say a dragon deck, but it was really a Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon deck that just happened to have dragons in it for its ability. And I played a water deck. One of my earliest decks was Water Attribute, using the Legendary Ocean Field spell. So I was like, what if I made a Water Attribute synchro deck, where the main deck monsters are warriors, and the synchro monsters are dragons. And so the aesthetic I came up with was the dragons, in this case being water attribute, are made of coral. Not to be confused with the synchro monster coral dragon, which I forgot existed. Don't worry about it. What is that? Clown Knight. That's just Rise.
Glad you're all right, Farron. Now stop and take a breath for once.
So the dragons are made of coral, and the main deck warriors, both tuners and non-tuners, are like Pacific Islander themed. Think like Moana, but Like, you know, so it's all bright and colorful and stuff like that, and the tattoos and stuff. But in addition, the tuners, which would be the ones that actually, you know, ride the dragons. The other ones might be like, you know, tamers or just general warriors and whatnot. The tuners would be the actual dragon riders. They have a secondary aesthetic mixed in with Pacific Islander, and some of the others might too. That aesthetic being cowboy. And you might think that's a little odd, but hear me out. First of all, cowboys attempt to ride horses, but now imagine instead if cowboys rode dragons. But second of all...
I'm imagining it.
Yeah. But second of all, this means that I could name... And second of all, you know, cowboys will often, like, you know, wrangle, you know, wild animals and stuff, and with, like, their lassos and stuff. And so that could tie to how they tame the dragons. And thirdly, it meant that I could name the archetype Coral Corral. And that makes
it pretty good.
Right? And I figure it would be a sort of a mix and match situation where, like, every tuner has an effect. Like, thank you. Every tuner would have an effect that, like, you know, if this monster is used as synchro material for a Coral Corral synchro monster, it gains the following effect. And that would kind of represent that particular guy being a rider of the dragon. At first I considered doing the Dragonity thing of having it, like, equip itself or something, but I was like, you know, when it's sent to the graveyard, you summon it, and then resummon it, and then equip it to the guy. But I'm like, that'd take up space, and I can just make it straight up an inherited effect. I'm also thinking that there is such a thing as monsters with 2 tuners, like Red Nova Dragon, double tuning. It's pretty rare, but I was thinking, what if the big boss monster of the archetype, the biggest synchro, needs 2 tuners, aka 2 riders / cowboys, because it's a twin-headed coral dragon. That'd be pretty sick, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, Anduin has dialogue, except he doesn't.
Great.
The Arathi are strong, proud. The Cobus may be vile, but they will not win this day.
Be strong, my friend.
Well, oh yeah, Gemini No, not just Gemini Union monsters. Gemini Union Spirit monsters. No, I don't know how a Spirit Gemini monster would work, given that the returning to hand is part of their effect.
I pray for the flame to show.
Every Arathi has killed more Cobus than I care to count. We've also lost more Arathi to Cobus than I want to count. I don't know what underwater cavern they hail from, but I shudder to think of it.
We must rely on outsiders to save the Arathi.
A wave of shadow. What just happened?
Hey look, this well is purple now.
Oh.
Again, it would be so nice if this was actually in shadow.
We are a light in the darkness.
I'm gonna keep complaining because Blizzard, you really messed that up. You're probably thinking of Ultimate Offering. Is Ultimate Offering still on the ban list? Yeah, it is. There are other cards like Double Summon. I think that one's never been on the ban list, but which is interesting. I think it's because Double Summon lets you do Double Summon gives you 1 extra, but Ultimate Offering is so long as you have life points, you can keep normal summoning, and that's which means that assuming that you aren't using anything that gains or spends life points other than Ultimate Offering, that's what 15 normal summons. That's kind of busted. Baron's wide eyes dart around in surprise. What just happened? Did you see that shadow? The oil well. It's gone dark? I've never seen anything like this before. Could it be the nearby Dawn Tower? Hurry!
A beacon in the dark. Those shadows came from the Dawn Tower.
Baron, wait! We must withdraw to Merildar!
Barrett's like, no!
The tower.
Oh, hello. Don't help her or anything, you guys.
My faith
God forbid.
is my hope.
Baron stares at the tower in the distance, a strange flickering light reflecting in her eyes. The tower.
Don't. The Dawn Tower.
Okay.
What is happening to it?
Everything's purple like it's supposed to be.
Alric! She's...
The Harbinger has whispered to me of your arrival. And your failure at Dalaran.
Shoot him.
Where is your master?
Oh, that's why. Slow on the draw there, Lyria.
No! The sacred flame! What has Alric and his cults done?
I don't know. But they claim allegiance to Xalatath, and so their lives are forfeit.
Priorities, girl. I just want to mine this ore.
You may not die.
Whee! Dunk.
What have you learned?
The fear and shame of these people lingers in the air like a fog.
They will not escape.
This Order of Night, as they called themselves, did some foul ritual to turn the tower's flame to darkness. I know not what. We should investigate.
She cannot hide from me.
The flame is corrupted. Can we restore it?
I guess this is Shadow Flame again. Like in Zaralek.
Yippee!
Remember Shadow Flame?
They're really not letting it go, huh?
Well, I mean, when they have, you know, holy fire, it makes sense that its opposite is Shadow Flame. Well, I guess technically
Yeah.
the real opposite would be like Shadow Water or something, but, you know.
Shadow wet.
Shadow! It's too much!
Anduin, help her. Call upon the light once more.
Baron glanced at Anduin in surprise.
No, I can't. There must be another way.
Things that are awkward when you're playing as a paladin.
Oh no!
Things that I imagine are even more awkward when you're playing as a Lightforged Draenei Holy Priest.
Oh.
It's like, no, it's fine. I don't need to help.
We carry the flame into the unknown.
Anduin stares into the dark flames, mouth a hard line. I should have. He shakes his head. I can almost taste it. The light. It's right there, at the tip of my fingers. I just can't reach for it.
I hear a radiant song.
So much darkness. How could it come to this? Does light give way to darkness so easily? Tell me about Aelric. Aelric was one of us, a lamplighter. For years, he worked with us to keep the Dawn Towers lit and the people of Hallowfall safe. We all trusted him. He'd fought with us. We'd saved people from the darkness together. Then he betrayed the Arathi, and everything the Lamplighters stand for. He ambushed my friend Andari, and leads the Order of Night, who caused the breach here, and all of these deaths. I'm still not sure. Was he ever good? Did he plan that from the start? I don't know anyone more terrible. No one even comes close.
Despite everything, the Arathi find Jorb.
Search for clues. The wounds on the body form a ritualistic pattern. This poor soul was not only killed, but sacrificed to the darkness.
See.
Order of Night poster. My friends, we have lived in fear long enough. Beladar has been trying to show us the way. The light has forsaken us. In the light's glare are all watched, exposed. In the darkness, we are free. We are afraid of the dark only because the light wants us to be. Beladar has shown us the way. No more fear. Instead, we must become fear. Elric Lade. How's my cult leader narration?
I love how normal and trustworthy this is.
Right?
Hey gamers, did you know the light sucks?
Wait, hold on. I need to do something. This is important. I'm so bothered by this, I have a solution in mind. And this one should actually, hopefully, work. Let me just go be Goku for a second.
Goku.
Goku!
Oh god.
Shoutouts to Monster Musume, which is a manga I don't recommend reading because it is for adults only. But it had a tribute chapter to Yu-Gi-Oh! Where, like, the protagonist, like, they're doing a Duelist Kingdom style duel with the character of the week. It's all monster girls, so the monster of that week is a mummy, and so of course she's a walking Yu-Gi-Oh! Pastiche. Huh? What do you mean you can't do that right now?
Oh.
Google help. It's not usable in this zone. Are you kidding?
What?
If you apply the buff outside of the zone and come to Hallowfall, it gets removed. Why? Okay. What was I saying? Right, so they're doing Duelist Kingdom rules because the mummy is of course a basically a Yugi boomer.
Oh god.
So she goes first. She's like she summons the pastiche of Blue Eyes White Dragon, and of course for copyright reasons it was Brutal Eyes Jade Dragon. And you know it's got the 3000. She's like, haha, my deck is full of nothing but powerful monsters. Your defeat is certain. Blah blah blah. And she just summons it straight up because they're doing Duelist Kingdom, no tributes. And so, protagonist is like, okay, I summoned Ash Blossom in attack mode with 0 attack points. Of course, it had a different name again, but it was clearly Ash Blossom. And he just attacks his 0 attack point Ash Blossom into Blue Eyes. Or sorry, Jade Eyes. And then he activates a pastiche of an actual card called Inferno Tempest, which is a quick play. Activate only when you take 3,000 or more points of damage. Banish all monsters from both players' decks.
Oh.
And so, because the Mummy Girl's deck was only monsters, she now has no deck. And so she is unable to draw. And so she loses.
Good lord.
And I'm like, that would actually work. And like, congratulations. You legitimately followed the rules of Yu-Gi-Oh! And like, there was a bunch of other cards that showed up in background shots that were clearly references to actual Yu-Gi-Oh! Monsters. There was one that was, the Mummy Girl mentions making a contract for something, and she's holding up a card that is a real card called Dark Contract with the Abyss, or something like that. And finally, there was a Monster Girl parody of a card called Morinfen, which is a meme card in the Japanese Yu-Gi-Oh! Community. So I'm pretty sure that the author plays Yu-Gi-Oh!
Wild.
Anyway, back to WoW, and me being salty over not being able to use the Inky Black Potion. The journal is heavily scratched out and torn up. Few segments remain. Tabitha, I'm leaving. I'm tired. I don't expect you to understand. The Order of Night gathers strength. They hide in caves, in towns, and linger with our greatest enemies. They even have a base beneath one of their precious towers. The army has no idea. The light has made us all blind. Not me. Not anymore. What have we fought for this whole time? Why are we here? Does Belladar even know we exist? Does it love us for our devotion? Or does it hate us for holding it back? What if its true form is darkness? We've toiled in the light for years. What good has it done? We die, picked off in the shadows, one by one. Perhaps we should listen to what Belladar is trying to tell us. There's comfort in the shadows. I'm tired, Tabitha. I know what this means. I know we will end up hurting our own. Hurting you. I'm not sorry.
Hey, Azrael, welcome back.
Hey, the card I believe is called Inferno Tempest. When you take 3,000 or more battle damage from one attack, you can activate this card. Remove all monsters in each player's deck and graveyard from play. Oh, it says remove from play. Doesn't even say banish, it's an old card. Order of Night Polearm! Well, hey, maybe they're not so bad. The polearm has...
Scala, no.
The polearm has faint sigils carved into the haft. They have been torn and changed, forming new shapes. They pulse with dark energy. Yeah, because usually, because I think it requires the user to take 3,000 or more battle damage in a single attack. And usually, if you're in that kind of position, you're probably already losing and your opponent already has... That basically means that your opponent already has a monster with over 3,000 attack points on the board. It also doesn't affect the hand, either. It doesn't affect the hand, it doesn't affect the board. So you're still losing on board and in hand, if you can activate this card.
and shadow.
Sure, there's situations where it could still be useful, of course, but it's not broken as to be banned.
If you are lost in darkness, a cave, could they still be nearby, continuing to corrupt the flame? A lamplighter brings hope. Despite everything, the Orathi find joy.
Usually, yes. You almost never run all monsters. The only exceptions are if you're Joey at the start of the anime and don't know any better, or B, if you're running super heavy samurai. Because they have monsters where their effects only activate if you have no spells and spell or trap cards in the graveyard. That doesn't necessarily mean that you can't run any, just that you don't want them to be in your graveyard. And there's ways to finagle that. So, they killed Kelther too. Baron squeezes her eyes shut and mouths a prayer and a curse at the same time. We'll make sure he gets a proper funeral. The Order of Night will pay for this. We sealed off Gloomcrag, the nearby cave, years ago. They must have dug their way in so they could target this Dawn Tower. How long have they been planning this? How long has the Order of Night been among our ranks? Among?
Where's the button? Where's the button? Where's the button? Where's the button?
Thank you. Yeah, it's kind of a meme card, I would imagine. It's a lottery card, I guess. It's like, if you can get it to work, then great. If. It also assumes your opponent has no negates. And these days, people tend to have lots of negates on board. There's a reason why another Yu-Gi-Oh! Parody I saw once from, I don't even remember what anime it was. It's not one that I actually watched, it's just one I saw a clip of. Which was basically just, there was an exchange in the middle of it, which was, I negate the effect that negates the effect that negates the effect that negates the effect. I negate the effect that negates the effect that negates the effect that negates the effect that negates the effect. Relay Vessel. You mean Relay Soul? I would imagine that if there's some card that allows you to set a spell or trap card to your opponent's side of the field, then you could use that, set Relay Soul to your opponent's side of the field, and then use Bait Doll to force its activation. Of course, you'd probably also want to make sure they have a special summonable monster in their hand. Right. If you can make it work, it'd be a very funny jank deck, though. Anyway, where were we? When I reached for the flame, I felt the overwhelming hopelessness and despair that had been poured into it. It pains me, but my light alone is not enough to banish these shadows. And so, we take a more direct path. If the remaining cultists have withdrawn to Gloomcrag Bower, their combined power must be what's keeping the flame dark. We must stop them before this darkness spreads.
We carry the flame into...
Look out!
What are those things? They hardly seem real.
A trick of the shadow. I will deal with them. You all go ahead.
Okay.
Alright.
You got it, boss. So I believe that once we emerge from this cave, Beladar returns to light again, so I can stop complaining soon. Wouldn't it be funny if I come out and it's turned to shadow?
Oh god. Your worst nightmare.
The Harbinger comes.
Feel the terror of the dark!
No heart emoji.
That's like the opposite of okay, heart, yay, heart.
Okay, yay.
There's cards like Gift Exchange, which lets you pick a card to add to your opponent's hand, but they would still have to set it themselves. The only situation in which they might set Relay Soul is if they can foresee a situation where they might lose if they don't use it. I don't think you can use it with Mystical Ref Panel. Which is a shame.
Friend, Albrecht is nowhere to be found. But these traitors are wielding powerful darkness up ahead.
Am I needed?
Once, I would have been unable to understand what drove these cultists to the shadows. How they could harm their own. Now, I know all too well how the darkness sinks its claws into you, bleeds you out, and doesn't let you go, distorts everything with its lies. I'm fortunate to have people who saved me before it tore out my eyes and made me blind to the suffering of others. Not everyone here was so lucky.
Who is calling for help?
Theron's jaw is firm. They made their choice.
A beacon in the dark.
Theron speaks in a hushed, furious whisper. Good work. But before we leave, there's something else. Down this way are some powerful priests. I think they're summoning something. Something big. No doubt to strike at us above and drive us from the tower itself. It will be dangerous, but we must stop them. Are you with me?
Be strong. If we stop that ritual, I should be able to cleanse the flame.
Alley-oop. Caller of the Gloom. Oh, hello.
Light be my...
Stand strong. The darkness won't take us today.
And you tried. Almost.
You almost got there. You were kind of doing it.
Oh, I seem to have died.
Oh.
Anduin, your light. What happened to it?
Hopefully I didn't miss dialogue, but I might have. A mystical ref panel, I think, only works on spells or something, and a mystical ref paneling a bait doll wouldn't do anything because bait doll forces the activation of the trap. Yeah, mystical ref paneling bait doll wouldn't do anything. You can't. The trap is still on whichever. It wouldn't change the activator of the trap. If it's on your side, it would still be affecting you. Ref paneling bait doll wouldn't make it activate on under your opponent's control. Theron's eyes are dark with weariness. It never ends, does it?
In my heart,
I've never seen shadows this deep. This vicious. It almost feels like they're reaching for us. Ugh. We can't stay here.
if you are lost in darkness,
More shadows. We're trapped in here, aren't we?
No, we're not giving up here.
I mean, even if you were to somehow use,
we can do this if we stick together.
even if you were to set Relay Soul on your side of the field and use Bait Doll and ref panel it so that your opponent uses Bait Doll, you would still be the one under the effect of Relay Soul.
I will if the light shines through you. But what if it goes out? What if you failed your people?
You think I've never failed? I've never made mistakes? I was never even supposed to be in Halifon. I stowed away to escape a family that only ever saw me as a failure. Was it a mistake? I lost an eye and an arm for it. Does that make me unworthy of the light? I regret nothing. I keep fighting because in the darkness, it's all we can do. I can't give up. It's not in my nature. And I don't think it's in yours either.
You don't understand. I've hurt people. I was controlled by darkness, but part of me enjoyed it.
Enjoyed hurting people? Or no longer being able to agonize over every thought and action? Having doubt, making mistakes, none of these make you unworthy, Anduin. They light your path forward.
Anduin looks surprised, but thoughtful.
The entrance. It's gone. There is no way out.
Enough of your illusions, Zalata!
Belador's light has returned.
Has it?
Absolutely, absolutely incredible.
My God.
Called it.
You're kidding. Oh my gosh.
Well, yay! Belador's turned to light again.
I
Yay!
have no words.
We will find Zalatath.
Just pretend, you guys.
Mm-hmm.
Don't worry about the music being all creepy and ominous now. And I'm pretty sure it's going to be like this for the rest of the stream at this point. Because it's a 3-hour cycle. I'm glad you're safe. I sensed something amiss when those creatures suddenly stopped attacking the tower and disappeared. Belladar shifted on its own shortly after. Oh, it sure did! That was no simple illusion Zalatath trapped you in. I wonder, was I its intended target? You, me, Anduin, Farron. Perhaps he was happy to ensnare any of us.
I do not miss.
You have anything to say, Anduin? Anduin looks up at Belladar. It's light in his eyes. It really is something, isn't it? Farron's right. Seeing the light return, you can't help but feel hope swell in your chest. Even me. Anduin shakes his head. I'm sorry for what I said back there. I shouldn't have been dragging you and Farron down with me.
We have lost so many.
Blizzard, please fix this. Like, I know that doing the main quest again on other characters is optional. But, and like, you can just skip to doing the zone events and stuff. But please, if I'm doing the Hallowfall questline, keep Belladar synced, even if it's just visually. Like, you can have the events still be for whichever phase is really active, but visually keep it in sync with the questline, please. I don't think that's too much to ask. I don't think that's too much to ask. Do you feel it? Hope returning. Thank you for your help, Pascala. The Dawn Tower's flame remains dark, but this time I think we'll be able to restore it. Let's meet at the tower.
Be strong, my friend.
Illyria, we would have been lost without you. Thank you.
I'm glad you're all safe. Let's end this.
Yeah, as far as the thing with summoning Zushin is, that doesn't require... None of that setup really required anything from the opponent, except I think giving monsters to them just for space on the field at some point, and then taking them back again. At no point did it require the opponent to actually do anything.
We owe our service to those in need. Join me, please.
You know the light is not with me.
There is no darkness so deep that the light cannot reach us. Just be here with me. Now,
His hand is so big.
breathe. We are the seekers of light. We are the holders of hope. In the very heart of shadow, we are the lamps that guide the way. It's a first step. The rest is just time and trust.
I don't like how big his hand is compared to hers.
That's just how the models are.
I don't like its big ass yaoi hands. Put them away.
Farron gives a warm, tired smile. Thank you. Thank the light you all arrived when you did. I'm glad we can help each other. You know, it's funny, when I first saw the trailers for The War Within, like, the way Farron was presented, she seemed so intense. I had a completely different impression of what her character was going to be, turned out to what it actually was. Or just from the trailers.
I like her.
Yeah, she's a good. I was expecting her to be like, from the trailers alone, I was expecting her to be some like hard, intense, like grizzled soldier. No. The opposite, really. We must get to Mereldar and let General Steelstrike know what the Order of Night tried here. Thank the Sacred Flame we stopped them before they could do any worse.
Don't give in to fear. We need to return to Mereldar. I need to let the General know what happened here.
This Order of Night is no mere
Oh, you're back.
The Harbinger they speak
Oh, hey.
of is Zalata.
I thought you left.
She won't stop. Your people need to be ready.
Moth. Or maybe it's a firefly. I think it's a firefly, actually.
I think it's a firefly. It has the butt.
Yeah.
It also would like be thematic, I think.
Yay. Anyone is lost in thought, by the way. I know my chat box is covered by the stream chat box.
Dawn Tower's flame. The links. Get the zoomies and misbehave.
Apparently, the link says get the zoomies.
Take one for a run before it maims someone.
Should we? Maybe we should.
Maybe we should.
Just cause. Let's take a zoomies break.
Yeah.
Also, there's treasure and prizes for me here, it would seem. Here it is. Radiant Tongs.
Okay.
Yeah, clean my bags out.
Many deals for a friend of the Grummles. Like you. May your feet find good trail.
I'm betting this is like Lay Race from Legion, but I'm not certain.
Ooh.
Wait, that's not it. There we go. You. Link's Enrichment. Growl.
Yeah.
May scare locals. Leap up and forwards. Attempt to refocus. Distracted by Link Snip. Going for a run.
It's so cute.
Boing. Link Street. It is Lay Race. I was right.
Oh.
Because these stack. These are speed boosts. It's Lay Race, but with catnip. Well, I think this is a bad direction to go. Oh, my speed boost ran out.
another win under your belt.
Hooray!
Warrior, be nimble. Warrior, be quick. Warrior, invoke the power of the candlestick to increase movement speed by 20%. Haste. Thanks, Blizzard.
A lamplight
Finally,
brings
a
hope.
chance to rest.
We carried the flame into the
You have done us a great service, Escala. I have put the army on high alert for Elric. If he moves, we'll know about it. For now, though, I think you deserve a break.
The darkness comes.
I have to admit, I did not think that the first visitors we'd have in Merildar would have been outsiders. I thought the Empire... Well, never mind. You have been more than helpful to my people, and that deserves recognition. Merildar is the bastion of the Arathi and Hallowfall. Take some time. Rest.
We lose so many to the darkness.
We should grab some food at the inn while we can. One of the general's rules I happily follow.
Anduin looks meaningfully at Illyria.
Moment's rest is warranted.
General Steelstrike glances towards the tower you just came from, rubs her chin, and frowns towards the ground. Time for everyone to meet in the tavern.
New reserves are readying to enter the front line.
Friend, can you order a round of drinks?
Imperial style.
Why am I buying?
Mushroom brew. Pick your poison.
The cats are trained as well as the soldiers are. When one bonds to you, you have a friend for life.
Do you have a lynx?
Oh, no. No. I am not a cat person.
What can I do?
Anduin looks lost in thought as he stares at his drink. What's on your mind? Anduin looks over to you. Escala, you've been so helpful down here, as always. How do you do it? How can you even look at me? After what happened? After what I did to you? I tried to kill you. Remember that time you totally did that raid? That wasn't you. It felt like me. I remember the rage. I remember the hate. I remember the exhilaration. Satisfaction, even. Were they my emotions or his? I don't know. I felt them. In my nightmares, I still feel them. Maybe Farron's right. Maybe I need to let it go. I never understood how. How can one just decide one day to feel better about everything? Maybe it just means to keep moving forward. I remember seeing someone say that, oh, this expansion has so much people being introspective all the time, and I'm like, yeah, the expansion is called The War Within. What did you think was going to happen? Literally, this is The War Within.
Huh.
What are your thoughts on the Arathi? Honestly, I'm still reeling. I didn't expect to find that there's an entire empire across the sea when I started on this journey. The Arathi Empire of our world collapsed so long ago, it has dwindled down to the smallest remnant now. To find that the empire continued to flourish across the sea. But still, we are dealing with such a small portion of the Arathi. Are they normally this friendly? Or do we need to be worried?
Will I be forgiven?
Hey, Illyria. You see Illyria scanning the people entering and exiting the inn. Any one of them could be an Order of Knight member. Any one of them could have the information I need. Calm down for a minute, Jesus! How are you doing? You think this is the first time I've lost friends? I've lived a long time. In the Thousand Years' War, I saw planets burn. I lost my brother to the Orcish Horde in the Second War. I lost my sister to herself. Ah, Sylvanas. To rally in a narrator, I haven't spent as much time with as I would like. Dalaran isn't the first time I've lost people. Dalaran wasn't your fault. It was my job to stop her. Not only did I fail, but I failed so catastrophically that a city was destroyed. I may not have caused Dalaran's destruction, but it happened because of me. Is Verisa safe? She's safe, thank the stars. She moved away from Dalaran a few years ago. I stop by when I'm able to, but my work keeps me busy. Much as I love my sister, she is the least of the things I need to worry about at the moment. We're here for you if you need us. Thank you. After Zera imprisoned me, I'd given up all hope of seeing Azeroth again. Of seeing my son. After you rescued us, I got to see both. And now, I'm deep in the bowels of Azeroth, the very person who saved me from another planet. It would be nice if this ended the same way.
I will not fail again.
At some point, you'll have to try our Imperial wine. It's made with grapes from the Priory, and is heated with the sacred flame. We only drink it on special occasions, so just drinking it is enough to conjure thoughts of good times. What can you tell me of the Arathi Empire? I was young when we left, but I have some memories. I remember the parades through the city streets. Everyone would be out and cheering as the army walked by. I remember the lynxes in ceremonial armor, resplendent and regal. I remember the park near where I used to live. My parents would take me for walks there, and we'd feed the animals. Most of all, though, I remember the feeling of belonging. I remember my family. I remember my friends.
Be strong, my friend. If you are
The
lost
city has much to see.
we are here
It's
to
been good to sit down and breathe for a bit.
Despite everything, the Arathi find joy.
Xalatath is using the Order of Night to serve her whims. I overheard some of the Arathi complaining about a new wave of propaganda that has been put up around Merodar. Find what you can and deliver it to General Steelstrike. I'll be there as soon as I can. We need to convince her of the severity of this threat.
Rain won't escape. Anduin, we need to talk.
Of course.
I need to see Rain about my prosthetics anyway. Let's meet later.
Hey, it's Drakthir over here because of Brewfest. So I mentioned before about Drakthir and armor. So this chest armor that he's wearing is actually part of the character customization. That's not a piece of gear. I think the only gear that Drakthir could have visible is the belt and the shoulders, and that's it. Nothing else. Because the belt is a line, and the shoulders are usually their own 3D model that just sit on top. Also shoving that leg of Tam directly through his snout.
Good for him.
We are united in purpose.
A baby? A baby?
A baby!
Child. Small. The little guy. So do you think it's adoptable? The Order of Night propaganda.
Baby.
Babby. Arathi, your leaders lie to you. They sell you false hope. They say the light is the way. The light is your salvation. Look at the state of Hallowfall. If that were true, would Beladar be turning to the void? Would the Nerubians be attacking? The Order of Night has seen the truth. The light is not the way. Open yourself to the void. Embrace the Harbinger. And through her we will remake Hallowfall. Can we acknowledge the double think in some of that stuff, by the way? They list Beladar turning void as one of the bad things happening, but then act like it's a good thing. So it's only bad when it's inconvenient. It's only bad when it's convenient for it to be bad. Hi. Hi, Scrunch.
Scrunch.
I would like to adopt Scrunch.
Scrunch.
Scrunch is a stray. Why can't I adopt Scrunch?
You have a house?
Do I? Maybe one day if we
Do
get...
you?
I mean, I have, like, you know, 900 pets, so... Hi, Bran. Hey, Farron. Scala, meet Rain, our head armorer. She leads the team whose inventions have saved many lives since we landed in Hallowfall. Rain herself forged my shield. I always enjoy coming here and seeing what new things her team has thought of. Oh hey, she took taking the armor off.
Oh.
Don't give in to fear.
Farron, I was inspired last Beladar's shadow. I designed a new arm prosthetic. I think you'll wear this one.
Thank you, Rain. But the shield you made me is all I need. I'm sure your talents would be better spent on other inventions.
It's my pleasure to make a new arm you would use, Farron. You told me about the discomfort and how it impacted your mobility. So I was thinking...
Rain? No. I have lived with my injury since I was a child. I've learned to do everything from sword fighting to dressing myself with one hand.
But what if I figured out the weight balancing? You said that was what you didn't like about the first few I made.
Then I think some of our veterans who will lose an arm to the Nerubians will be very grateful that you've improved the design. Rain, I've learned to navigate my life without a prosthetic. I don't want to relearn everything, but if you want to improve something of mine, a better shock absorber on the shield would be a blessing of the flame. Those Nerubians are getting bigger, and it puts all that weight on the shoulder.
Oh yeah? That's a tough one. Let me sketch out some ideas and get some measurements. I think that'll be an interesting project. Thanks, Farron.
Keep up your work. Everyone on the front line appreciates the new kit upgrades.
There you go.
Ah.
Disability that isn't just being instantly cured or seen as a wholly negative thing.
Yeah.
It's just like I've learned to live with it. And I like that she as well. I specifically enjoyed the part where it's like, but I figured out the balancing on the arm to make it better. And she's like, then I'm sure the others who lose an arm in battle would really appreciate that. It's like people who have gone through their life with both arms suddenly losing one. Yeah, they would. I'm sure the prosthetic would be great for them. But me, though, I'm good without.
Scrunch.
Scrunch.
Once again, I'm gonna be right back. I'm grabbing some dinner.
Okay,
I will return and resume existing after.
I'm gonna pet Scrunch some more then. Scrunch. It's just giddy. Are there lynx babies I can get in here? Sure is. Oh, there's also vanilla, Palmathy. What to do in the meantime? I don't want to go through the dialogue without Leo here, because I've already seen it all. I want him to experience it. Oh, there's more of these. I'll check in the middle. In a middle in a minute. To get them all.
I have many, many wares. I have many lucky doos. You like?
see, where's a mailbox? Probably over by that inn we were at, which is here? Yes. Actually, let me check to see which of these are and are not used. The ink almost certainly is not used. That can go. What? What? What is happening right now? Huh? What? Oh. Okay. A baby. Hey, is everyone leaving the inn? All the NPCs? Yeah. Huh. Anyway, that distraction out of the way. Know that. Keep that. That's for cooking, that's for cooking. That's ore, that's ore, that's ore, that's ore.
And back with spaghetti.
Baguette! Nice.
Yep.
There was a weird sound at one point while you were gone, and I don't know what it was.
That's not concerning.
Also, I've determined that there are several Lynx pets you can get.
Oh. Vanilla!
This treasure Lynx is a firm supporter of no changes.
Save Tomothy.
Yeah, save Timothy. Shout out to the joke here is about Vanilla WoW.
It took me a sec.
Yeah. Timothy. I don't know who Timothy is, but they need saving. Illyria and Andu. Oh! Belladar's light again. Maybe that was what I heard. Illyria and Anduin are standing on the wall looking at Belladar, a large crystal in the sky.
I will not fail again. I wish you had heeded my warning and stayed in Dornagar. She's here, Anduin. The Arathi are in danger. We are in danger.
I needed to see if there were really descendants of the Arathi down here. I'm the king of Stormwind. So many human kingdoms have fallen.
Why did you cut off?
There were others.
It was still a foolish risk.
You're not the only one grappling with the voices in their head.
What have you been hearing?
Belladar, the Emperor's vision. That prophecy that drew them here. It's the radiant song I'm hearing.
You have been hearing the star?
Yes. No. Not really. When I saw Belladar for the first time, I had the vision again. It's related somehow. I wish Khadgar were here. He'd know what it all meant. I'm sorry.
You're right. I wish he was here as well. We'll have to find our own answers.
I've gotten a look at the crystals and their key flames. It's not azurite, but it's close enough that I think they're connected.
Then you've realized when Beladar shifted for the first time.
Their day of darkness. The same day Sargeras plunged that sword into Azeroth.
So that has some fascinating implications and just raises further questions.
Huh.
Because Sargeras is not a being of void, he's a being of fel, completely different cosmic force.
Hmm.
Also, more
I mean, there's all the things about Azeroth's wounds. Well,
Yes.
that's more literal. What if the sword just, like, left an opening for infection from the void?
Oh, that's a good point. Plus, the sword wound was in Silithus. You know what else was in Silithus? Cthulhu.
On the old gods?
Yeah. Cthulhu and his followers and kingdom.
Yeah.
Did Cthulhu infect the wound? Anyway, we got more propaganda. Death comes to Hallowfall. The Harbinger will protect you. Prostrate yourself before her and beg her protection. Only she can save us. Only through her can the Arathi people flourish. Prostrate yourself before it's too late. And Steelstrike and her cronies teach you to be afraid of the dark. The dark is not your enemy. The dark is your friend. Embrace it. Give yourself into it fully, and it will protect you. The Harbinger has come. Embrace her protection before it is too late. Before she kills you? I'm saying that doesn't sound particularly trustworthy. Encouraging, that's the word. It's like she'll protect you if you know.
Auralia, our quartermaster. I'm also proud to call her my daughter. I must ensure my people's survival.
Every time we rotate our reserves through, I make sure to learn their names. Many of them won't be coming back. The least I can do is remember them. Why is your daughter the quartermaster? You suspect nepotism? Understandable, you haven't been here for long. My daughter is, without a doubt, the backbone of the Arathi army. I lead it, but she ensures it actually runs. She has a gift for organization that we desperately need. I've tried to rotate her onto the front lines as part of our reserve rotation, as is only fair. I was overruled by the Priory every time.
We are surrounded.
And if I can help you with, Escala,
Our holy mission.
General Steelstrike reads to the propaganda you brought her. I need to know more about this Xalatath.
We lose so many to the darkness.
Your skills in combat are impressive, Escala. We are rotating our next round of reserves into active duty, and they need to sharpen their skills. While Illyria fills me in on Xalatath, I would appreciate it if you could help with their training.
The day of darkness. Auralia, send a runner to Farron's new elf friend. We need to talk. We are the Farron tells me your friend wields the void. I'm either going to regret meeting her or thank the flame.
Time for the obligatory sparring quest.
Sacred flame guide your way, friend.
Let's do 2-on-1. I ain't scared. I still have all my extremities. I'll consider that a win.
There is always hope. Always be prepared.
2-on-1, she says, joining in as number 3. And I still win.
Greetings, outsider. May the shadows pass you by.
We are the seekers of light.
And you.
Burn brightly together.
So my main character really enjoys the aesthetics.
Your skills are a sight to behold.
Oh, that was also a world quest. It was both the main quest and the world quest at the same time.
The Harbinger is from the Black Empire?
No.
Flames. What of the old gods? No. Something else. A survivor from the depths of time.
But yeah, my main being a paladin who is very much associated with fire. He really enjoys the whole sacred flame thing they have going on. I also enjoy, just in general, stuff like the airships and the, they have the harvest golems from Westfall, too. Because, one of his professions as well is engineering.
Yeah.
So it's like, this place is perfect. The only problem is there's no dwarves here, but at least they're upstairs, kind of.
I search each day for a winning strategy.
Kind of.
They're not really dwarves, they're robots, really, but...
We are
Thank you.
surrounded by
What they
dangers.
learned from you will no doubt save their lives later.
Caution is warranted.
Oh, stay a while and listen.
We must rely on walk with me for a bit, outsider. I assume Farron has told you of how we came to this strange land. The Emperor's vision. A prophecy of light, battle, and victory. For the Arathi and the Sacred Flame. I was newly raised to my position. Being entrusted to seek out an Imperial prophecy was a great honor. Our armada braved the storming sea and its impassable tempest. I thought that final storm was sure to scuttle every airship. Instead, there was a radiant flash. The Emperor's vision, exactly as he had foreseen. The light transported us beneath the surface of Azeroth. But still under the light of this star we named Belladar. So many died as the Armada crashed into the cliffs. We thought the eternal flame of Erethdor snuffed out that day. Then, as we labored to rescue this stowaway child, Farron, we discovered that she had preserved embers of the flame, at risk to her own life. Brave fool. Yet I'm eternally grateful that she held on to that symbol of hope. Don't tell her I said that. Years later, there was a great rumble. We thought the cavern was going to collapse. It was the Day of Darkness, the first time Belladar shifted to shadow. We had put down roots by then. My soldiers left to make homes for themselves. They started families. Flames, help me. There are children now. I've had too many years of defending against the monsters that go bump in the night. Great Chiron and their lamplighters guided us through the darkness. But like Farron, they mistake saving for safeguarding. My people are brave and strong, but they are not all flame-blessed heroes. I know exactly how many soldiers we lose to the dark. If we play it safe, we might survive long enough for me to put my grandchildren on the front line. I welcome you, outsider. I hope your people's arrival and the Earthen's reunification means better days for Merildar. But I fear we have just made ourselves a bigger target for the dark.
Another interesting thing about the whole Day of Darkness thing is, Stillithis is over there, and Kazalgar is over here. So it's not like we're directly below the wound. So if the infection spreads, how much has it spread?
We are far
Yeah.
from the Empire. Our holy
I still need more time with Illyria to learn about Xalatath. What I have learned is very worrying. Farron sent word that she was going to the orphanage, and asked you to meet her there. She often entertains the children while she is in Mereldar. I don't doubt she would appreciate you doing the same.
The darkness comes. Farron's at the orphanage. She was the first child to call it home. She visits whenever she can.
Alright, let's pick some children.
You're weird looking.
We're looking for a big grown-up to pretend to be a monster. Can we slay you? Okay.
Know what to do during
Scary monster. Roar scarily so the brave Arathi orphans can attack you. Taunt the Arathi taunting flex. Taunt the Arathi children, no doubt you're an undefeatable monster. I'll kill you until you die from it. Kaiju chomp. Chomp like a kaiju. The Arathi children will surely defend Mereldar from such a menace. Scared monster. The Arathi children are too strong. Even a scary monster is too scared of them.
Scala has died badly.
Sadly. Rock throw. Hey kid, what's up?
are you? Have you seen any spooky stuff?
Where plague floor is undersea. You can't touch the floor or else the tentacles will get you. You have to run along the fence and get to the other side. Do you want to play? Sure.
When the starships get to shelter.
Camera. Oh gosh, do I have to jump that?
Are you from above?
Oh, this camera is mean.
Yep.
I like it when the star shines.
Yeah, it's a little too far.
You're weird looking.
We've got hooves, they're hard to balance with.
Grown-ups say be careful in the dark.
I made it!
Yahoo!
There's a variety of games you can do, like there's tag, there's hide and seek, but those are the three we ended up doing.
Are you from above?
I think you can go back later and do the other ones, and there's achievements involved for doing them all. Oh, Farron's inside.
The Emperor rewards the faithful.
Welcome to our orphanage. When we arrived, I was the only child. They founded this for me. I'm not quite sure how Siegfried put up with me. I was quite rambunctious. I love coming here when I'm in town. Despite everything, the kids are so bright and happy. They are our future, and we fight for them. Is his name Siegfried Siegepire, but spelled weird?
Oh my god.
R/tragedy material right there.
A beacon in the dark.
I love coming here whenever I visit Mereldar. The kids always bring a smile to my face, and I hope I do to them as well. After everything they've been through, they deserve happiness.
In my heart, that's
Ding.
the warning bells at the main gate.
Children, inside!
I will see you through the shadow.
Those bells mean Mereldar is under attack. Let's get to the gates and find out what is going on.
Despite everything, Merodal's under attack. Children, stay inside.
Really? You had to have her despawn? She couldn't just run her over here?
The Cobus strike our
Oh, now she's got her armor on.
Meladar's light. How?
Look, General. Darkfire. This is our exterminate.
Sorry, Darkfire, not Shadow Flame. I guess it's a type of Shadow Flame. How'd you get that armor on so fast?
We cannot hide from evil.
Alaric is behind this.
Superpowers.
I know it. I can feel it. Whatever his plan is, Escala, we need to stop it.
Give in to fear.
You'll hit them so hard they never come back.
In my heart, there is fire.
After what the Cobus did at the beach. Escala, we need to save anyone we can. We can't let them take more Arathi.
Who is calling for help?
Light of the Flame. The Cobus have never attacked in such numbers before. We need to push them back, and we need to stop whatever it is they're doing to the Eternal Flame.
Our holy mission takes a toll.
We need to take the Veneration Grounds back from the Cobus. Push them back and pave a bloody path through them. We need to stop whatever is happening at the Eternal Flame. If they manage to corrupt it like they did at the tower, I don't even want to imagine what will happen.
The darkness comes.
I guess that's like the main one.
Prepared. I am on the hunt.
I can sense 3 beacons of void ahead, all funneling their power into one massive font of darkness. You will need to kill them. With them dead, I can bring down the shield.
She cannot hide from me.
Arathi, push back the Cobus. Make them regret ever stepping onto our hallowed lands.
Hold on, there's a curate. Dink. Dink.
Be right back. Gotta put my dishes away. I ate so much spaghetti.
Spaghetti.
Outsider.
Yeah, they do have a unique positioning for the shield for Faerun. Because here it's... the shield doesn't touch the shoulder, but for Faerun it does. Neat. They didn't just make her arm invisible and call it a day, they actually changed the anchor point. Big screamers. $81 bismuth. What do I need to make core ally? Oh, echoing flux. Buy that from vendors. Then I can just start making core ally.
I'm back.
Welcome back. I checked another model, and yeah, they did move the shield for Faerun compared to the default model. They changed this anchor point to stick to her shoulder. Time for crab.
The Harbinger manipulates the Cobus through their hunger, and the Arathi through their fear.
Are you trying to say this is a good thing, and why we should join up? Because, it doesn't sound like a good thing to me. I'm just putting it out there. Ooh, there's a rare. Rim slice.
Yes, night falls. Renalas begins.
So again, at this point in the first playthrough, Belladar shifts right now. But again,
Join me in the shadows. Bring the harbinger joy.
we are not so lucky
This
as to
is
get
very
the...
awkward.
Yeah. Pretend it's in shadow again. You know what? I'm gonna file that as a bug report as well. This was what? Shadow Rising was the quest? The Shadow Rising. Will they read it? Who knows? But I'm trying. Because it feels broken. But I will report it as a bug, not as a suggestion. Because it just doesn't make sense to specifically call attention to it changing at specific points of the narrative and then have it not change. Like, yes, I know there's mechanical gameplay effects of the change, but just have it be an aesthetic change while you're on the main quest line, and have the mechanical stuff toggle independently of that. And then once you've completed the main quest line, then it becomes tied to the mechanical shifting.
Ritual is the source of this darkness. We need to break through this barrier.
He draws strength from the darkness. So do I.
Okay, you didn't need to add that second part, but okay.
My arrows strike true.
Excellent. Now, to break through this shield.
I do not miss.
We've lost the eternal flame. Light of the Empire, we've lost everything.
The day of
Now we just need to deal with the shield.
We must
Belladar has turned to shadow.
save the Arathi.
We must retreat back to Merildar. Valencia looks towards Alaric. No. We need to destroy Alaric first. Take him down, then we retreat. Where is he? Is he inside there? I thought that's the eternal flame.
We lose so many to the darkness.
Maybe there's a barrier, I don't know.
We will find Zalatar.
This odious man. It reminds me of Darkon Drathir. Let us hope he stays dead. Who's that? I've heard that name. Darkon Drathir. Ah! So, Darkhandra Thir is a character who was retconned into Warcraft 3 by one of the novels. He was a High Elf traitor who helped Arthas breach Quel'Thalas. And then he was raised into undeath. And then in Burning Crusade, leveling quest line for Blood Elves, you kill him in Ghostlands. He's had an interesting history, because, like, Warcraft 3, he wasn't there. Then there was a novel which was a novelization of the events of Warcraft 3 from Arthas' perspective, and they added Darkhan into the story. And then in Burning Crusade, Darkhan was totally there the whole time. And you have to kill him.
Alric thinks the shadows will save him. He should see what true power looks like.
True shadows. Or something.
Now, go for the kill.
That was just a barrier around the flame. Okay. Hi there.
She has taken an interest in you. Harbinger, do not forsake me!
Lol.
How could any Arathi be in league with such monsters? The sacred flame is lost. Fall back!
No. We cannot keep retreating from the darkness. Our fear has overshadowed our faith. Belladar may have guided us, but it is not what will save us. Stand with me against the shadow. Show this Harbinger the true strength of the Arathi.
And if you fall against the darkness, what will we do then?
It's what we always say, General. The light will return. Even if someone else carries the torch. We are the seekers of light. We are the holders of hope. In the very heart of shadow. Together, we guide the way.
I'm not clear on how they actually purified it there. Was it the motivational speech that did it?
I guess.
If only all problems.
Jesus really good at motivational speeches.
If only all problems could be solved that way.
My arrows strike true.
The shadow always tries to corrupt. It only works on the weak-willed.
She cannot hide.
By the flame, that was close. I'm glad it worked. I mean, of course it worked. I knew it would. Don't tell the general I said that.
We carry the flame into the
Here's Anduin. Oh, this guy... Seems like a few of these guys don't realize they're dead.
Oh.
Like, those are definitely supposed to be corpses, right? Well, there's Anduin.
Yeah.
By the light. That was incredible. Never seen anything like it. The closest was Kalia's resurrection, but that... So many people. One purpose. One unity. One hope. I guess it was the motivational speech. It was the fact that everyone believed in the speech, and they all hoped so hard that the flame turned back with light.
I guess.
Freaking Biggie moment.
This land was not what
Danganronpa. May the light bless Farron. I thought the eternal flame lost. I thought this was the end of hope and the death of our people.
we are surrounded by dangers.
Level 76.
Caution is warranted. We must prepare for
Our veneration grounds have been desecrated, its beauty marred. It's going to take a bigger effort, but I would appreciate anything you can do to clean up our grounds.
We lose so many to the darkness.
That was too close. This attack took a toll on all of us. We have many injured and many shaken. Can you check in with people? See how they're doing?
Be strong, my friend. My faith
Stay a while,
is
listen.
my hope. Valeria, what happened?
For years I've held back the void within me, worried I'd hurt my loved ones. When Dalaran fell, I didn't draw on my power, and someone dear to me paid the price. Like Alric, Xal'atath thinks herself safe behind layers of shadow. She isn't. Not when I can turn their own power against her. I will do all it takes to end her threat for good.
Okay, Farron wasn't really a participant in that conversation, but...
I will help if I can.
Hey, Anduin.
Well, what Farron said,
Hmm.
it got me thinking. Perhaps I've been wrong about what the light wants from me.
Is that the end of that thought? Okay.
I pray for the flame to show us the way.
Alaric drove a wedge through the heart of the Arathi people. We will root out his followers, his cult. We will burn it to the ground. I will undo everything he has done.
The darkness comes. When I saw the depths of Alric's betrayal, I lost hope. I retreated. Flames. The Cobus would have taken Mereldar.
We are the holders of hope.
You should have seen it. We took so many Cobras down. Sure, we took a few flesh wounds, but the flames preserved us and let us carve a bloody swath through them. Well done on surviving.
Find joy in the flame's light.
Writing plant. Flames, they were raising our dead. I had to kill my sister after watching her get cut down by those monsters. That sounds awful. I'm so sorry.
For the Empire.
We do what we have to. We always do what we have to survive. Glad to the eternal flame, Arathi endured.
We burned brightly together.
We got dinged up pretty bad by the Cobus. Lost a few friends. Killed lots of Cobus though. So there's positives. We did well.
Find joy in the flame's light. There is always
The veneration grounds have been despoiled. Ruined. Where do we go from here? If they can strike at our most sacred places, how long before they come to the rest of us? You're alive. That's a start.
we're all down here together.
You're right. We've survived worse, and we will again. Bond troops, rally at the eternal flame. I feel like sometimes they respond to the other option I pick more. By the flame, that was close. If those Cobus had broken through to Mereldar, who knows what would have happened. Held the line.
Stay productive in the light, vigilant in the night.
Some of these people just need a you did it, I guess. Writing plant. And now all the bits that I didn't touch are miraculously finished. Now that I've filled the bar.
Hooray!
Hooray! Oh, I see. You're all nice and lined up now.
Friends, the flame blesses us with victory. Your courage against the dark has saved the day.
That's your whole speech? Thank you, Escala. It may not have seemed like much, but this is one of our most sacred places. We remember our dead here. We have a lot to remember.
Caution is warranted.
Irathi's spirit can never be broken.
Our holy mission.
General, the Nerubians. They've opened a new front at Light's Redoubt.
We are far from the Empire.
Just before the Cobus attacked, we received word of a disturbance near Livia's patients. Now we know the cause. We can't survive fighting on two fronts, Escala. We have to stop this, now.
We must rely on our flames. Harathi, mount up! Light's Redoubt calls for help. We bring hope into the darkness.
Regaled horn fire. Alright. Whee! And now we are at the other breach to Ashkahet.
Livia's patience is overrun. We must buy the villagers time before the reckoning can launch.
I would safeguard my people.
We have to stop this here, Escala. Flames. We cannot survive if this is not stopped. At least here we can use the power of our airships. The Reckoning's guns will turn this tide. We just need the time to get it ready.
The day of darkness changed.
Stay tunneled up through the lake bed. Livia's patience has already fallen.
We lose so many to the darkness.
We need time to get the Reckoning ready. Take your friends and hold back the Nerubians for as long as you can. They deserve nothing but death for what they have done to our people.
We must rely on outsiders to save the
Livia's patience. So many people. By the flame. I was here only a few days ago. We have to help them, Escala.
If you are lost in darkness,
We have to try and save any of our people left alive in Livia's patience. Every Arathi is or was a member of the military. If you can help them, they'll be able to help themselves.
a beacon in the dark.
Stalwarts, we are the wall today. Together we will stand against the darkness.
We need to evacuate the villages before the Reckoning's bombardment.
There's a rare over here. I'm gonna fight it. Brunglor. Interface action failed because of an add-on. Kill. Oh, a ring. This dude's fishing. You do you, man. You do you. Get back here. Acquire web. Oh snap, the ice cream truck is driving by. Please tell me that's picking up on the mic.
I am having a horrendous lag on my end.
Ooh. I'll restart the
Like,
call.
my Discord keeps going into the red.
Okay, I'll try restarting the call real quick, see if that helps.
I don't think it's the call. I don't think it's you. I think it's me.
I'm gonna try it anyway, just in case. So I'll be right back.
It's been happening for. Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna try it anyway, okay? Just in case.
Okay.
Restart Discord. Okay. Let's see if this helps.
It has been glitching out for a while. It just finally hit the point where I couldn't like hear anything. There's like, oh no.
Still busted?
Screen share hiccuped a little bit, but seems to be stabilizing.
That's
I don't know.
good, question mark. The good news is we're almost at the end of the zone. This is like the last quest hub. We're almost done.
Okay. Well, the react images appear to be broken on stream.
Oh! Let me see if I just...
I have died badly.
There we go. I tapped away and back. Fixed it.
Okay.
Thank you for the heads up, though. I would not have noticed.
Feel the warmth of the sacred flame.
Yeah.
Ha! This is not the...
I've been trying to keep an eye on stream.
Yeah. This is not the day I thought I was going to have this morning. If I can just get my armor on, I can fight my way out.
Don't despair.
I'll buy you time. Ooh, there's Easy Mine Akirite over here. Have I shown off the Easy Mine nodes yet? Let's get rid of these guys. I was gonna call them bugs, but they're not bugs. They're arachnids. Anyway, someone helpfully left a bunch of dynamite on this node to make it mine easier. Quote, helpfully, end quote. Probably a goblin.
May Beladar stay in the light.
Treasure hoard. Is it in? I must be out back.
We are the seekers of light.
Yep. Prizes. Feather on a stick. What are these guys doing? They're just like shooting webs at a single point on a wall. Why?
Well, you know.
Ah, they have flaps.
In hardship, kindness.
They're good people. Like, here's more of them doing the same thing. Like, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing? Lads? It makes no sense.
In hardship, kindness.
Right, 2 more.
Everyone is evacuated. The The Nerubians are massing for another assault. Fall back! Quickly! Before the Nerubians overwhelm us. Don't give in to...
Good job, Escala. I'm surprised the Nerubians aren't fleeing already.
Be strong.
We saved everyone we can. Thank you, Escala. Between myself, Illyria, Anduin, and you, I think we managed to save quite a few. The Nerubians abducted many of the rest. We need to help them.
In my heart, there is fire.
I think this is the last quest of the chain. The reckoning is ready. Let's make these spiders pay. Blood for blood.
If you are lost in darkness, we are here to help.
What do you have to say, Illyria?
We'll find.
These Nerubians keep coming. Normally I would be grateful for my enemies to throw themselves at me in such a blatant manner, but they keep us from my true quarry.
They will not escape.
We have to get out of here now.
Where's Anduin? Anduin!
The light will return. Even if someone else carries the torch.
Curse them all! Where did they take him? Do you see Anduin?
They dragged him down. I lost track of him.
Ash! We can't let them reach Merodar! Blast them apart!
Oh, there goes Anduin.
Sacred flame protects us!
Man. He does not get a break ever.
They're just taking him to see Mr. Sunflower, obviously.
The darkness hungers. Let's give Zalatan's forces a taste of their own shadows.
A lot of them. And they'll all burn.
Violence!
Hey, did a full lap. Here's where we took off from.
No.
Hold on. We don't know what's down there. Reinforcements are on the way. We could wait.
We'll lose his trail.
You're right! Let's make those monsters pay for everything they've done! Flames! They were ready ready for us. Brace yourselves!
That's not a Nerubian. Hey, that looks like life magic. Nature, even.
Oh.
Hi there. Goodbye.
Oh, hey. Oh, yep, bye. Okay.
We are alive.
What fools we are.
Despite everything, the Arathi
Damn it all.
joy.
We were too hasty, and now my people are paying the price. We were fools to think the Nerubians wouldn't be prepared for an incursion. Arathi soldiers are made of stern stuff, but even they will struggle to walk off an airship crash. I'll keep everyone here safe. Please, go into the field and rescue as many people as you can. Well, they'll just have to wait, Farron. Because that's the end of the Hallowfall questline. Next time we'll be taking on Next time we'll be taking on Ashket. Spider Zone. Hey, look, that quest name is an Overwatch reference. Well, thank you everybody for coming. The airship's seen better days. And
man.
We'll see you guys next time. Wow, my WoW subscription ends tomorrow. I thought I had another week. Huh.
Oh.
We may be seeing you guys tomorrow.
Okay.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.